One empire, one man. Persia fell. History changed forever. Alexander the Great. The ancient world was ruled by one empire, Persia.
Its power stretched across continents. Rich, vast, and confident in its dominance. To the west, Greece stood divided.
King Philip forged a new kind of army. Then suddenly, Philip was dead.
At just 20, Alexander took the throne.
He secured his rule with force. Now, he turned toward Persia.
In 334 BC, the invasion began.
There was no turning back. He claimed Asia as his destiny.
Persia underestimated the threat.
The first battle came at the Granicus River. Alexander led the charge himself.
Alexander led the charge himself.
The Persians believed the river would stop him.
They were wrong.
Alexander nearly died in his first battle.
Asia Minor, lay ope.
Greek cities welcomed Alexander as a liberator.
He freed them from Persian control.
Those who resisted faced destruction. Alexander ruled through speed and fear. King Darius raised an army of overwhelming size.
At last, Persia responded.
He intended to crush Alexander himself.
Alexander did not retreat.
He prepared for a decisive confrontation. The armies met at Issus.
Darius's numbers became a weakness. Alexander struck with precision.
He aimed straight for the Persian king. Darius fled the battlefield.
Tyre chose to resist. The siege lasted 7 brutal months.
Alexander's relentless assault finally succeeded.
Tyre was destroyed. A warning to all.
Egypt welcomed him as a liberator.
He was declared pharaoh, a god on earth. He built a city that would last for eternity.
Then he turned east, marching toward the heart of Persia. The final confrontation was approaching.
Darius prepared for the ultimate battle. The army met at Gaugamela.
Alexander sought the one decisive strike.
Persia unleashed its ultimate weapons. But Alexander's discipline was unmatched.
He struck straight for Darius.
The Persian king fled once again.
City after city surrendered.
The riches of Persia fell into Alexander's hands.
Persepolis, the symbol of Persian power, was destroyed.
Alexander's victory was complete, but the war was not yet over.
Persia was broken, but Darius was still alive.
He fled east, betrayed by his own men. They believed Darius was no longer fit to rule.
Darius was murdered by those he trusted.
Alexander found the Persian king dying. He honored his fallen enemy.
Darius was buried as a king.
Alexander declared himself king of Asia.
He adopted Persian customs and rule. Its own men began to doubt him.
Alexander ruled with absolute authority.
The war pushed farther east.
New enemies fought from the shadows.
Darius was avenged.
He sought unity, not just conquest. He dreamed of a united empire. The world still stretched before him. A new and powerful enemy awaited.
Alexander chose to march on.
The final great battle awaited Shutid at the Hydaspes River.
King Porus stood against Alexander.
The elephants struck terror into the Macedonian ranks.
The battle descended into brutal chaos.
Alexander adapted once again.
Porus was defeated, but not broken.
Alexander ruled through respect as much as force. But the cost of conquest was heavy.
The army finally said no.
For the first time, Alexander turned back.
The return journey was deadlier than any battle. He suffered alongside his men.
Alexander returned to Babylon. Soon, sickness followed.
His army came to say goodbye.
Alexander died at just 32. His empire shattered without him.
The world burned again.
But his legend survived.
He changed history forever.
No man before or after would conquer like him. He was not just a king.
He was a force of history, a conqueror of worlds. Empires fall. But legends remain. Alexander the Great.